evening, everyone. My name is Shreya Yarlaganda, and I've been doing Project Life Skills, and I'd like to take some time to talk about that. So these may look familiar to some of you. It's Trick or Treat for UNICEF, and there's Jump Up for Heart, and I've also done Box Stop Education. These are how I've gotten to the community, and I've started fundraising. So in April 2015, there was the devastating Nepal earthquake, and I gathered a few of my friends and we did a neighborhood lemonade stand. And in that process, inspiring messages and people's responses inspired me to do more. With almost the same friends, we did a lemonade stand again for recent hurricanes in Texas and Florida. Overall, we raised $1,200 for both lemonade stands, and I feel very proud of these initiations up to date. I've always loved to help people, but these initiatives that I started were because of my parents, and I used them as learning tools to understand the value of money and also to learn my math, and I really didn't like numbers back then. I wanted to have a fun evening with my friends, but this turned out to be much more than I expected it to be. So 1.5 years back in the summer of 2016, my dad showed my mom and I an article about acid attacks on girls in India. With tears in her eyes, my mom said, "Shreya, as you grow up, if you choose to help girls in India, I will be the proudest mother in the world." I forgot to ask her then why she became so emotional and started to think, what can I do? Later, I realized that she became tearful relating to her personal experiences from her teenage years to having me, a girl child. Back then, many girls were victims of molestation in the name of chain snatching. She explained how she suffered from it, and she had to deal with it all alone by herself. She would still have to walk and bike to her classes alone in the early hours of the morning or in the late hours of the night. And even during the daytime, she would jump into the middle of the road from leaves being blown by the wind or a cycle passing by. It took her several months to become normal again. By the time I was born in the US, chain snatching had been now promoted to acid attacks on girls. Now she was very thankful that she would be raising me in the US and that she would raise a girl skilled in martial arts. About the same time in the summer of 2016, I started Taekwondo. After the conversation, I took it much more seriously than I intended to. I decided that in the future, I want to help girls in India by instilling the similar self-confidence through teaching English and martial arts and self-defense skills. In December 2016, when we went to India on a family emergency, my mother and I made sure to visit an orphanage before we came back. We celebrated New Year's Eve 2017 with these amazing kids, boys and girls ages 4 to 14 and more, who are very disciplined and happy with what they have. I asked the headmaster to see if I could teach the kids Taekwondo on my next visit to India. Starting Project Life Skills was a process for me. It was never an overnight decision. With all this experience, once I came back to the US, I started to think, what can I do now without waiting until I went back to India? Parallelly, reading Seeds for Change and giving a speech about it, and seeing other presentations at last year's annual dinner in Iowa, Sehgal Foundation was my instant choice. This summer, after meeting Suri and Etta and conversing with them, which inspired me further, I've got them to sign my books. I have them with me now to get them signed by Miss Marley Cornell. Through the spring and summer of 2017, I discussed with Mr. J. Sehgal and Mr. Eggerman, my class teacher, about different projects carried by the Sehgal Foundation, such as rainwater harvesting, bathrooms, school benches, digital literacy, and more. Digital literacy life skills education is the only program that came close to what I wanted to do, which was help girls understand the value of education. I decided to fundraise for the project now, and my teacher was very keen on helping me with this. I'm grateful to my parents who allowed me to choose any activity I wanted to be in. They always gave me choices, I had those choices, and we all had those choices, and we're very lucky. But many of the kids in India, mainly girls, are not as lucky as we are and don't have much choices. They don't even, forget about the choices, they don't even have the privilege to basic rights. In many families, even now, girls stay back from school to support their family. Some schools don't even have bathrooms. Some girls also quit school once they hit puberty. There's a lack of clean or no water supply. If a school has a bathroom, there's usually no water. In some areas, there's only one school to 3 to 4 villages. Children have to walk miles to get there as well. Even worse, they're married as young as 13 to 15 years. I wouldn't like that. In the light of such situations, basic life skills education is crucial for them to understand that access to education is their right. Digital literacy basic life skills education is a 6-month-long structured program that teaches reproductive rights, sanitization awareness, and skills needed for future jobs, including operating computers. Most importantly, it focuses on building self-confidence. The program cost is $4,000, and the cost covers the instructor salary, center setup, and software costs, and more. To make sure that these girls are provided with an environment to practice what they learn, instructors frequently involve the girls as mothers throughout the course. My goal is $2,000 because Sehgal Foundation matches what we raise 100%. So let's see if I've reached my goal and what I've done so far. Once school started, my class teacher guided me in a way that I can do this in school hours. We brainstormed some ideas to fundraise, and my principal, Mr. Johnson, was extremely supportive in having me reach out to other classes. With barely a month in hand from my active fundraising and a very high goal, I decided to implement all the ideas we have. My school friends were part of almost every single fundraising idea listed here. Out of 18 total readers, we had 11 active readers who contributed 16,726 minutes so far for the readathon. We raised a total of $693, and we got $519.75 toward the project. And we raised these by asking people to come to our web pages, and they would donate money onto the sites. There was a lot of organizing and follow-ups, and I really want to thank my mom for helping me with that. Homemade Indian dinner. 6 families attended, and we made, that's me cooking, and we made $430. Leopold bench. My teacher suggested that our class build a bench to auction for my project. With the help of my classmates, I built a bench and put it to auction at the fundraising dinner on November 12th in Des Moines, Iowa. We wanted to incorporate the nature and Montessori methods in our project. We chose to build a Leopold bench, originally designed by Aldo Leopold, considered as the father of wildlife management. We measured the angles for math class, and we cut the wood ourselves, which was probably the hardest part in all of the activities mentioned so far. We also painted the bench and put handprints on it of the entire class. This is my teacher who has been my support at school, and you can see the family who got the bench as well. We auctioned this for $100. Yonkers Community Days coupon. We sold 51 coupons and we made $255. And for free will donations, we made a total of $1,345. So in summary, we raised a total of $2,649.75, and I marked my $2,000 goal on October 30th. And I think there's a few more free will donation checks in the mail. Now I hope to get to $3,000. I am a girl strong and powerful who has access to choices and privileges in my life. So I choose to support at least 150 to 300 girls in the next 5 years. With this power and strength of being able to make my choices, I would like to teach self-defense to at least 60 to 120 girls in the next 5 years. I'm grateful to my parents who allowed me to choose to go in neighborhoods selling coupons and talking to people asking for money for causes instead of going to sports meets, which I never really liked. I may not be able to help everyone, but this year I can definitely make a difference in at least 30 to 60 girls with the $2,000 that have been raised for. Thank you.